to know what's going on. To be honest, I didn't know what was happening.
Just to clarify, Kaylee said yes. And they've already planned their dream wedding down to the last detail.
We found a really nice hotel, and it's like all in one. It's like, it looks like a country barn, and it's just perfect, wasn't it? And that's where we'd like it to be. It's taken us nearly a year to save up £500 into the wedding pot fund. I don't think we'll be getting married next year at all. I definitely think we need help. 110% need help.
Because we can't help each other. Because I just think we're both so clueless. So we can't offer each other advice.
Now, clueless is a rather strong word. But don't worry, help is on its way from our very own financial expert, Simon Reed. If anyone can get you down the aisle with a smile on your face, toasting the wedding of your dreams, it's Simon. He's meeting them at their first choice wedding venue.
So you're probably wondering why I've asked you to meet me here.
We're going to get married.
We're getting married now.
Not today, but I know you're planning to get married, and that's your main goal. That's why we're here, to talk about your finances, get your finances sorted so you can afford to have the wedding that you want.
Simon's hoping today's visit will give Kaylee and Stacey a reminder of what they're working towards.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
A recent survey revealed the average cost of a wedding in the UK is at an all-time high at £27,000.
I can't wait to be in here.
So what we need to think about, though, is the cost. So the package you're talking about, which you're happy with, including this, came to how much, Dan?
4,695.
So just over £4,500. Have you got that money?
No.
Not at the moment.
Have you got any savings?
About £500.
About £500. And when did you want to get married? 2022?
Well, Simon, you'd better get a shift on if you're going to get Kaylee and Stacey wed anytime soon.
The interest is probably going to be high on this one.
First things first is to tackle the biggest financial burden in Kaylee and Stacey's life: payday loans. High interest rate lending used to bridge the gap between pay packets.
What do you use them for?
Shopping,
Shopping?
mainly.
Yeah, bit of retail therapy.
Bit of retail therapy?
They make it so easy and so available. Between us, we haven't got the, no, let's not do it. We're just like, oh yeah, let's do it. Why not? We only live once.
20 to 35-year-olds are twice as likely to use these easy-to-come-by payday loans than older generations. They're funding Kaylee and Stacey's shopping sprees and leaving them with high interest debts. Simon wants to really bring home to them just what payday loan interest rates mean in the real world. So he set up a little test. He's going to reveal the true cost of the everyday items they buy based on the interest rates they've been repaying on some of their payday loans.
Starting with a can of baked beans, 60p, good value. How much have you paid? £1.20. That's expensive for a can of beans, isn't it?
It really is.
But this pair of shoes cost 40 quid. For me,
For us, it's costing £80.
£80. Sounds like a rip-off, doesn't it?
That's right. The interest they've paid back on some of their payday loans has been more than the cost of the original loan itself.
And finally, this laptop, £1,200. Good deal.
I dread to think what we're paying. £2,400 for a laptop.
£2,400.
It's a really good way of thinking about it, actually. Thinking it's double the price.
This is the most expensive way to borrow. And the fact is, actually, you don't need to be borrowing this money.
No, we really don't. Because it's not money we need, it's money we just have to do things, ain't it?
But listening to him say that, it's shocking, really, really shocking.
Having opened their eyes to the true cost of the loans, Simon now wants to make some savings.
So, let's actually do this now. Have you got your phone with you?
I have, yeah.
Let's have a look.
The payday loan companies regularly send marketing texts with special offers. And Kaylee and Stacey find it hard to resist the temptation. Simon's determined to stamp it out.
So, you just get the text here, You just click on this one and see this. What does it say?
Block number.
Just got to block, stop, block, stop, block, stop, block.
And if this manages to keep the loans at bay, they could save around £1,000 a year in interest payments just by blocking senders like this. It can be done on any smartphone. The next expenditure that Simon just can't wait to put the brakes on is their car. It was bought on finance 2 years ago. With a high interest rate of 25% added to the cost of the motor, it's now driving away with a lot of their disposable income.
This car was worth about £10,000 when you bought it, and because of the high charges, the interest charges that you agreed to, you're actually going to end up paying about more than £16,000 to £17,000.
I just made a rash decision.
Yeah, the spur of the moment. You wanted a car, they offered you a car.
Rash and expensive. Paying 16 grand for a 10 grand motor is the harsh reality of buying a car on a pricey finance deal. Kaylee and Stacey have 2 years of payments left to make, but Simon wants to put a stop to that here and now.
I've got a copy of the contract here. Do you know why I can do that? No. Because on page 2, it stated very clearly that once you'd paid more than half of the total debt, you could walk away from the deal.
I can't believe we haven't even looked at the contract.
No.
Since the day we took it out.
No.
So if you walk away from this deal now, which you have every right to, you'll save around £6,600 in payments.
Gotta hand it to you, Simon. It's a bold but very savvy move. Kaylee and Stacey are paying £276 a month for their current motor. But Simon's taking them to meet a car salesperson who might be able to get them a better deal.
You know, I'm hoping we're opening your eyes to the fact that you've got to question every deal that's offered to you.
My eyes are definitely wider opened.
Vehicle finance is a great way of spreading the cost of a car over a number of years. But to avoid falling into the same trap as Kaylee and Stacey, you need to check exactly how much interest you're paying over the course of the contract.
Our APR is 11.2%.
With no deposit, anything around 10% is a good deal for them. And there's a used car that could be right up their street.
Your payments would be £156.38 a month.
With no deposit?
With no deposit, and that's over 36 months. That's over 3 years.
That's almost half the price, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's £120 a month less than what they're paying at the moment. So a potential saving of £1,440 a year. Could be a great saving, Simon, but what do you think of the motor? It's test drive time.
Start.
You just put your key in and then press the button.
Literally, that's it.
Did you like the car?
I did
Yeah.
like the car. Very,
We did like the car.
very smooth drive.
Okay, so that's a real option for you.
It is an option, definitely.
And there's even better news to come, as Simon's found a way to drive down the cost of their car insurance, currently costing them an eye-watering £3,000 a year.
So I found you a deal online that would cost just £1,600 a year rather than the £3,000 you're paying right now. So that's an instant saving there of £1,400 a year.
Sorry.
If they change their car and take out Simon's half-price insurance policy, they could save just shy of £3,000 a year. Nice one, Simon. Back at the flat, Simon's keen to drive down the cost of something else, their mobile phone contracts.
At the moment you're paying £130 a month.
Yeah.
Simon sniffed out a better deal by switching to a different supplier.
It will save you, in a year, £1,093.
Wow.
Wow, really?
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just? £1,000 towards the wedding fund.
Great, so that's a big saving to look forward to. Fantastic.
Can't wait.
Now, speaking of smartphones, there's something we spend more time doing with our mobiles than making calls, and that's taking pictures with him. But if you're Kaylee, saving these precious memories can be expensive, as they pay for online cloud-based storage.
All right, Kelly, so you're paying £96 a year to store your pictures.
Pictures in, yeah.
Fine, you need someone to store your pictures. That's a safe way of doing it. But you're paying quite a lot for it, to be honest.
I do pay a lot.
But fear not, as Simon's confident he can save them some cash.
I've done some shopping around for you, and what you have at the moment is a deal where you have a huge amount of storage, of which you only actually use 5%.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're paying for all the extra storage you don't need.
It's a common story, as millions of us pay out for cloud storage services. But like Kaylee, do we really know how much we actually need?
So the actual storage you need, got a deal here for $1.99 a month, right? That gives you all the storage you're currently using. And that would save you £72 a year.
A cheeky £72 in the wedding coffers? Well, that's the napkin sorted.
I have to agree.
And I hope you don't think I'm being mean.
No, not at all.
Because it's really time to wake up and start being
reality
sensible.
check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Charlotte.
For the past year, Stacey's been playing football in a local charity football team.
She's a right winger. She's a very fast player. One of the greatest players we've got. And a good team player, which is important.
Simon's brought Kaylee and Stacey to a midweek training session where he's hoping to score high by turning Stacey's passion into pounds.
I know that you love your football,
I do, yeah.
so I've thought of a way you can get the most out of the game you love and make some money at the same time.
Interesting.
Meet part-time Football Association referee Ian Lawson.
No, chest, carry on.
He's been overseeing football games for around 20 years. And he's got a proposal that could help Stacey get one step closer to that wedding.
Yes, please, Paul. Cheers, mate. Have you ever considered refereeing?
It's not something I've really thought about, to be honest.
Any particular reason?
I've always thought about just playing the game. I've never thought about doing anything around the game.
Well, this way you're staying involved in the game, you're keeping your fitness levels up, and you, as I said, you are still involved, but you can also make some money at it as well.
How much money?
For a 90-minute game, you can make £28 to £30, and £16, £15, £16, for a half an hour six-a-side game.
I wouldn't have even thought of it, to be honest.
Stacey's timing is excellent, as there's currently a shortage of refs in the UK.
Certain positions for corners, goal kicks, free kicks.
To qualify, you need to be over the age of 14, complete the Football Association's basic referees course, which costs around £150, and you can start overseeing matches.
Goal kick. You have to register your interest and your availability with the various leagues that are in the area, and you will get 20 games a season per league.
If my maths is correct, Stacey could earn up to £600 a year refereeing matches in her spare time. But will she give it a go?
We're trying to arrange another game where you're going to take the reins and I'm going to shadow you and mentor you to see how you get on, see how you like it.
Oh my
But I'll
goodness.
be there as a safety net for you, so we'll be all right.
Talk about throwing me in the deep end.
Does that scare you?
A lot, yeah.
I can't wait to see this. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see this.
Later, I slide in with a pitch invasion of my own.
Oi, referee! Check your phone, you've missed a few calls.
Now, I don't know about you, but I can't stand housework. Whether it's cleaning, tidying, washing or ironing, I'd rather pay someone to do it for me. And that, as Denise has found out, means there's good money to be earned for those willing to do it.
Whether it's cleaning or the dreaded DIY, everybody has a household task they just hate.
So much so, some of us are only too willing to pay other people to do those tasks for us.
This is Kate Abdullah. She's a mom of 6, which, as you can imagine, takes up a lot of her time. But the time she has got left, she uses to iron other people's clothes for cash.
So tell me the story about you and the ironing.
I have 6 children. I need something that works around them. I can't afford to go back out in the workplace and pay for childcare. So this does work. It means that I can still stay at home with the children and earn a little bit of extra money that, you know, that goes towards the household.
And you really, really like ironing?
Yeah, I do actually. It's quite therapeutic. I can watch a film, listen to a bit of music, and yeah, no, I really enjoy it.
It's a flexible approach to doing odd jobs that's proving popular across the country. Many people are advertising for work like this online, but Kate's got her clients through word of mouth.
It's a busy household, taking on other people's ironing. How much time do you dedicate to that?
Anywhere between 4 and 10 hours a week. I do have to have a lot of pit stops because of the baby. Once the older children are home, I've got a bit more time to iron.
So how much do you actually charge?
It's £10 per hour, and you know, most of it with a minimum £10 spend. I know that doesn't sound a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's a fair rate. All you need is a good iron, the will to be able to do it, and obviously, you know, there is some talent in ironing. It's not easy, it is back-breaking work, but if you do enjoy it, money to be made.
Indeed, but be aware, if you make enough money to put you over the £11,850 personal allowance, you will have to pay tax on it. I'd never really thought that something I have to do once a week at home could be something I could make money from. But how much you can make depends on how good you are, which means I can feel a little experiment coming on.
So are you up for a little bit of a challenge?
Let's go for it.
May the best women win.
Definitely, I'm getting gold this time.
Ooh!
Kate has fired up the competitive streak in me. She's carefully prepared 2 mountainous piles of crumpled laundry she reckons is an hour's worth of work for her. Each bundle includes t-shirts, kids' clothing, a duvet cover and 5 hard-to-iron shirts. Be warned, things are about to get a little steamy.
Irons to the ready. Let's do this.
I've got an hour to see if I can iron enough to earn me Kate's £10 an hour rate.
I see you're starting with the sleeves.
I find the sleeves are the tricky bit. Once you've got the sleeves done, the rest of the shirt is a piece of cake.
See, these flimsy shirts are an absolute nuisance. Oh gosh, that's not good, is it? Oh dear. Oh well, it's going under a jumper.
I'm going to get returns this week. I'm going to say, you see that Denise Lewis?
She can run, but she can't iron.
Yeah, she better start running after this.
We'll see how I get on with my ironing challenge later. But first, ironing isn't the only area where you can make money by doing the jobs that other people don't want to do. Across town, Mark Mignot is on his way to the home of Claire Delap.
Hello. How's it
going? She needs 2 bathroom cabinets put up and 2 picture frames hung. And Mark's here to do it.
Thanks for coming.
No worries, my pleasure.
He's not a friendly neighbour and he's not a professional bathroom fitter. She's found him through an odd job website which matches people with tasks they don't want to do with folk only too happy to do them.
Do you have everything you need? Like, I don't really have any tools.
Do you have it? No, no worries, I got everything in my bag.
You?
Yes.
Perfect.
Mark does jobs like this part-time to make some extra cash while studying.
There will be a few weeks maybe where I just, work non-stop, and then other times I can sort of schedule my tasks around study time.
Before booking Mark, the website Claire used allowed her to read reviews and references of his work and a profile of his skill set. For peace of mind, he also had his identity vetted and passed a criminal record check. She was also able to agree on a price in advance. The job's not difficult, and Claire doesn't really need a skilled tradesman.
I was able to book this task last week while I was on holidays, and all I needed was the app on my phone. Because of the user rating system, you know that you can trust them, and you know that they're like a verified tasker, and you don't have to worry about maybe getting conned or letting a stranger into your house.
On the other side of the city, Andy Goyen is another odd jobber, sometimes known as a tasker, on his way to a new job. If the sight of flat pack furniture makes you feel queasy, he might be just the man for you.
I basically know the instructions back to front, so I just skip it.
Today he's been paid to put up furniture at a stranger's house while they're at work. Over the last 2 years, he's done more than 300 jobs through this app. In no time at all, he's put together a shoe cupboard for the hallway.
Onto the living area next, going to build a TV unit and the storage above it.
Andy started odd jobbing to fund the volunteer work he was doing. But he became so much in demand, he realised he could make a full-time job of it.
It is a little bit surprising that there's such a demand for people to put together flat pack furniture. I'm earning somewhere between $2,500 to $3,000 a month.
2 to 3 grand a month? Wow, that's not bad at all. The app allows adverts for almost any type of task, and in his time, Andy has had a few interesting gigs.
I had to wait for a delivery of a customer's furniture. Basically, I was getting paid to sit at someone's house, wait for a delivery and play video games.
That's right, there are people out there keen to hand over cash for someone to do pretty much anything from waiting in for their post to queuing up for their theatre tickets.
Right, all done, off to the next job.
Odd job men like Andy and Mark and ironers like Kate are all part of what's called the sharing economy.
The sharing economy is a term that describes businesses which let individuals buy or rent things from each other. So it could be something big like your house or your car, it could be your time.
Richard Lawton is chair of Sharing Economy UK.
Most people are working part-time on these platforms, and the flexibility that they provide is particularly valued by people who have other responsibilities. And so it's enabled all of those people to get involved when they want and only when they want.
Job done. It's time to find out what Claire makes of Mark's work.
He was really quick, he was very professional, he did a perfect job, he even hoovered after himself when he was finished. And I felt like I could trust him completely, and I'd definitely hire him again.
Back in South London, and I'm in the middle of my iron-off with master ironer Kate Abdullah. I've got an hour to see if I can iron enough to earn me Kate's £10 an hour rate.
Goodness, look at you. You're really going for it, aren't you?
Head down, bums up. That's it, let's go for it.
You're on your duvets.
But just as the heptathlon doesn't end after 4 events, you've got to stick at it till the end.
Isn't it time for a cuppa yet?
I've got time to make you one. I've got plenty of time.
Now you're just showing off.
It's the only time against an Olympic gold heptathlete that I will ever be able to show off. I'm going to milk my moment.
Before we know it, our hour is nearly up.
Kate, it's coming up to an hour now. Are you nearly there? You look like you've done really well.
The last 2 bits, Denise, almost there.
That duvet has just wiped me out.
Right, done.
No! Still got 3 shirts and a T-shirt to do.
Valiant effort, Denise, but I take the gold.
Well done.
Kate has completed her basket, including 5 shirts, a duvet cover, some trousers and tops, comfortably within the hour. I, however, have lagged behind. I got the duvet and 2 of the shirts done, but, well, a few others fell by the wayside.
I reckon another 20 minutes and you would have been there. It just takes a little bit more practice and you'd have earned all of it. I'm sure you've got a bit of a future in it if you give it a bit more practice.
Oh, Denise, no gold medal for you this time.
I know, shock horror, just a silver.
Just a silver, there was only 2 of you in the race.
I know, but I love Kate. She was such a pro and had great tips on how to iron quicker and better.
Can you see yourself taking this up as a second career, though?
No, can't see me giving up the day job just yet. But I can see why it's appealing to other people.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, earlier on, we saw Kaylee and Stacey, who were desperately trying to save up for their wedding, but didn't really know where to start. So, has our Simon knocked their finances into shape?
You can apply for £800.
Click on that to see what the interest is. What should we do when we get it?
Go shopping.
In West Bromwich, Kaylee and Stacey are struggling to get a grip on their finances.
We don't need no encouragement to spend money. No.
Definitely not.
Not at all.
Like people say, save for a rainy day, and we're like, today's the rainy day. Let's spend some money.
Seen some new trainers.
Me too.
But their carefree attitude to money needs to change. Last year, they got engaged.
Maybe something like that dress will look nice on you.
In their current financial state, it'll be years before they can even consider a wedding.
The dream is to get married, isn't it?
Financially, we're not stable at the moment. I think the main thing is we don't have a clue.
Luckily, help is at hand in the shape of the master of money makeovers, Simon Reed. He's already made great progress driving down the cost of their car.
Where do we start?
And made some smashing savings on their monthly bills.
We've come up with a deal that will save you £1,093.
Wow. Wow.
Can't wait.
Simon's back and ready to make some more sweet savings. Kaylee and Stacey have something of a nagging snack habit. It's affecting their wallets as well as their waistlines.
You spend about £20 a week on snacks.
Yeah.
I don't think we think twice about it, to be honest.
That's what you spend, isn't it? It's what you need to spend. But if you think about that, how that adds up, you know, £20 a week is
£80 a month.
£80 a month. That's almost £1,000 a year.
Wow.
See, that's a lot of money suddenly.
Crazy.
Simon's determined to reduce their spend on snacks by teaching them how to make flapjacks. Chef David Hampton's in charge.
We're making flapjacks using oats. Oats are actually a superfood and they're fantastic. And we're getting away from chocolate bars, crisps, and they're full of nasties. They're full of stabilisers, they're high in salt and lots of E numbers, of course. So we're going to teach you how to cook as well, and that's the main thing.
That sounds fabulous, doesn't it?
Yes.
Bargain price flapjacks, here we come.
And the first thing we do, nice and easy, just pop our butter into the pan. It is a lot of butter.
It does look like a lot of butter.
And then we're going to add our sugar. So add your sugar. Exactly, that's superb.
This looks really simple.
As a nation, we spend over £12 billion a year on confectionery.
Yeah, so put your syrup in there.
But with thousands of free recipes available online, making your own snacks can be fun, as well as saving you some dough.
At this stage, you can add any other ingredients that you want to it, whether you want to add some nuts or some sultanas, chocolate, because you both love chocolate.
See? Cut price doesn't have to be boring either.
OK, girls, this is moments of truth.
And with the flapjacks cooked and dropped, what's the verdict?
What you have to think about is this is going to cost you roughly £4 a week to make this. You can make a whole batch for a month, you know, so that would be £16 for a month's supply of sugary snacks rather than £80.
And now I've tasted it and how good it tastes, and I'm definitely up for doing it.
If they roll up their sleeves and make their own snacks rather than buying their usual shop-bought alternatives, they could save over £760 a year.
And you can feed all your friends and family with this too.
If there's any left.
With the savings coming thick and fast, Simon's well on his way to fulfilling half of Kaylee and Stacey's dream of gathering enough money to finally get married. But there's another area he thinks he can save them a few quid in both the long and the short term. And that's property. The couple currently rent their two-bedroom flat from the council at £300 a month. They'd love to buy. So, estate agent Harinder.
You can use that as a study area, possibly use this as your lounge diner.
And mortgage advisor Bob are giving them a tour of what's for sale locally.
Well, they would need a 5% deposit, Simon.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the size.
Problem for Kaylee and Stacey is, with nothing saved for a deposit, they've written off the idea of one day owning their own home.
That view out there is nice, ain't it?
But all that might be about to change.
We're here to talk about how this property was purchased, and that was using the government Help to Buy for new build houses.
Yeah.
So the idea of the scheme is if you can find 5%, you can get a 20% loan from the government, so 20% of the purchase price. So between your 5% deposit and the 20% loan from the government, you've got a 25% deposit, yeah?
Okay, so how can this help the girls?
So that'll help them to purchase a property with a bigger deposit, which would get them a better interest rate and therefore lower monthly payments.
So not to have a look around it.
With Help to Buy, the government will provide a loan of 20% of the price of a house, or 40% in London, and it's interest-free for the first 5 years. Not only could it be a good long-term investment, but with interest rates at an all-time low, it could mean a tidy saving in the short term if they can put together a deposit.
It's lovely. Lovely. Really nice.
You'd like a home like this?
Yeah, would be nice, wouldn't it?
But that's not all. Back at the office, mortgage advisor Bob wants to open their eyes to another great money-saving idea by introducing them to an alternative government home buying scheme.
So if you live in a council property, yeah, you can apply to the local authority for the right to buy your property.
I didn't even know that was an option, to be honest.
No,
Like, I'm quite surprised that you can do that.
Right to Buy is a government scheme which allows council tenants to buy their properties at a discounted price. Kaylee and Stacey have rented their flat from the council for the last 80 years, so they more than qualify for a discount of over 50% of the value of the property. To find out if your council property is eligible under the scheme, you can visit the government's Right to Buy website.
So you could have the opportunity to buy a place at half its market value. In itself, that's a fantastic thing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Sounds good.
We believe the property is worth £80,000, yeah? So you might actually buy the property for £40,000, yeah?
Sounds really good. Like, I wouldn't even have dreamt of doing it now.
The couple would have to pass the standard credit checks to obtain a mortgage, and under the scheme you can't sell the property for the first 5 years without paying back the full discount. But what might interest Kaylee and Stacey most of all is the current interest rate. The monthly mortgage payments would be less than they're paying in rent, saving them £360 a year.
If you took out a mortgage like this and you carried on paying the same amount as you are already, you'd pay the mortgage off quicker and save money.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just wish I'd have knew about it sooner.
And I know this is the first you've heard of it, but in theory, how does it sound?
Sounds ideal.
It does, yeah.
But for now, it's off to a snowy Sunday evening in West Bromwich and preparations are underway for a football match. It's Stacey's refereeing debut and she's feeling the pressure.
I'm really nervous, actually. Fear of the unknown. But when I'll be out there, I'll be fine. I just think it's the initial getting out there and getting stuck in. But I'm sure it'll be great.
If it goes well tonight, Stacey could be on the path to becoming a part-time FA referee, which could earn her up to £30 a game.
Drop ball to start the game then, people!
And swinging by the stands for a surprise visit is me.
It's a freezing cold evening and Stacey is having her first trial at being a referee. I can see her out there. This is going to be a bit of a shock for her. Hello guys, how you doing? All right, how you doing? Right. She's got me start raving bonkers want to play a referee in this weather. Crazy. Oh, isn't it? It's taters and roll, isn't it? Oh.
From the sidelines, it looks like Stacey's doing a sterling job.
4 minutes gone.
But I'm determined to put her through her refereeing paces.
Oi, referee! Who trained you, Mr. Magoo? Oi, referee! Check your phone, you've missed a few calls.
I'm just kidding with you, Stacey.
Oh, referee! She's handling it well, isn't she?
She is.
In fact, she's not even phased.
As the whistle's blown, Stacey steams over to red card the first half heckler.
Stacey. How cold are those hands? Are you feeling?
Absolutely freezing.
I bet you couldn't even hardly blow that whistle, could you?
No.
How was it?
It was good, I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've now, obviously that was your first match which you refereed.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think there's a future in it for you?
I think there could be, yeah.
What are you thinking?
When you enjoy your football anyway, playing, and it's a natural progression, but the support network is there to make a career out of a hobby.
I think it's definitely something I could do. I can get stuck into it and obviously get a bit more knowledge on how to be a better ref.
And obviously this is something people can earn money at, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All good news?
All good?
Well done, I suppose. Welcome to the world of refereeing.
Yes. Everyone's a winner. And before I get relegated to the sin bin, let's take a peek at Kaylee and Stacey's other savings. They could save £950